everybody. I'm John Ponick with the Mohave Valley Daily News, and this is your daily dose for Friday, November 13th. Friday the 13th in 2020. What could possibly go wrong? The daily dose is brought to you by Tri-State Radiology Center, located in Fort Mohave, Arizona. Tri-State Radiology is here to serve the tri-state area. We accept most insurances and offer cash pay prices. When you have a minute, log on to our website at tsradiology.com, and there you'll find interesting facts and see why imaging is such a benefit to you and your care provider. At Tri-State Radiology Center, your image means the world to us. All right, a couple things before we get started here. We are going to start doing a Ask the Newspaper kind of segment where you can ask us questions about things that are going on in the community, whether it's a rumor or an opinion or you just need some more information. So we're going to put my email address on here. Send your questions in, and at the beginning of each daily dose, we'll answer one of those questions and try and get you your answers answered. So today, the one that we keep getting, the one that we've been getting over the past week or so quite a bit, is that people have heard that the holiday parade, the Festival of Lights, has been canceled. That is not true. It has not been canceled. The Colorado River Women's Club council that does the boombox parade every year, they've canceled it for this year. It'll be back next year, God willing. And so the Kiwanis Club of the Colorado River decided to pick it up and make it the holiday parade of lights. And but that is on. The permits are all approved. We've been getting registrations in. We have around 20 floats or so right now. It is December 12th, I believe. Same route that the Boombox Parade has ran the last few years. So you can contact ColoradoRiverKiwanis.com, or you can call me here at the newspaper, and I can get you the information you need for that to register your float. All right, let's see what's going on in the newspaper. Biggest one is we finally have a winner of the write-in ballot for the high school district governing board. It's Ashley Gerich. Ashley barely beat out Patricia Anchondo. She beat her by about 12 votes. And then Artie Loxman finished third, about 100 votes behind her. What this means is coming up in January, Ashley will take her seat. She'll join Carrie Faring, who won easily. She was the only person who was on the ballot. The other ones were write-ins. And then she'll join Lori Crampton and Dr. Cardone on the board. That leaves one empty spot, so as soon as the election is over, which it is now, in December or January, they'll start looking at people to appoint to that position. They'll select someone. We're all assuming here that it'll be either Artie Loxman or Patricia Anchondo. They'll interview them, they'll make their selection, they'll send it up to the county superintendent, Mr. File, and he doesn't make a selection. He just simply vets them to make sure that they don't have any felonies and some of the other background information that goes along with being on the school board. And so hopefully by February, early March or so, we have a complete board down there, which is good. They got a lot of things to work on here. Our second story here, wood duck out of water. So this is kind of an unusual thing, a feel-good story. You have a wood duck that is hanging out with all the mallards. That's down at Rotary Park. One of our community members here, Robert Silvis, was down there feeding them and noticed that one of them was a little different than the other ones. They did some investigating, and it's a wood duck. They don't know if he came from the marsh or if he came from up north somewhere, but he is hanging out, gathering food. Prop 207 passage is Weiser's legacy. You see a picture of Michael Weiser. He's a Golden Valley resident who passed away about 6 months ago of a heart attack. He was really pushing hard for legalization of marijuana due to its health benefits and that. I guess this is something that he really was working hard on. His wife, Beth Weiser, who is I believe, just got reelected to the Kingman Unified School District Governing Board, talks quite a bit about his passion to get this done. He also she talks about the fact that he was showing some hard problems, but was so deeply involved in the legalization effort and the Prop 207 effort that he kind of ignored some of that and kept plowing forward, and ultimately he passed away. So Bishop and Miles, target of recall efforts launched before general election. So for Supervisor Bishop, Gene Bishop, this is kind of started by the owner of Great American Pizza, Robert Hall. He launched an effort to recall her before the election. She easily won the election to stay on the county board of supervisors, but he felt that his business, which is Great American Pizza, was being unfairly targeted. The evidence that we've seen shows that there was 78 roughly businesses that had people had said they're not following the governor's rules. What this county does then is they send somebody out, check on them, talk to them, tell them that they need to follow the rules, and in all except for one, they complied and did what they were supposed to. Great American Pizza decided not to. They ultimately were fined and told that if they don't start following the rules, that they will be closed. So he's got to gather 2,998 signatures to get the recall. He's got roughly, he says, just over 2,000. And he also has to come up with a viable candidate. You can't just recall somebody. You have to have a candidate to run against them. He says he's got 3 great choices that he believes is better than Supervisor Bishop. So we'll see what happens there. But he's not the only one. Kingman Mayor Jen Miles and 4 city council members are also being targeted for recall, basically on their handling of COVID and their they say sales tax and budget related matters are the reason why they want to do that. So we'll see what happens there. Georgia is preparing to hand tally their ballots. It's not a court proceeding, or it's not ordered or anything. It's just in their constitution that that's what they do to check and make sure that the machines counted accurately. But they don't believe that there will be any change to that. We have a review here on the Lady Patriots, kind of a preview. The Lady girls basketball team from Malk, and Coach Neil Sherrill talking a little bit about their expectations this year. They expect to return to the playoffs. So he talks about a few of his different players in there and that. So Riley Hoekstra, Maisie Mulligan, Yolabet Keitner, and Alex Ortiz. So read about that. First baseman Freddie Freeman from the Braves, and Jose Abreu from the Chicago White Sox. 2 first basemen were named AL and NL MVP yesterday. I think that's the last big baseball award. It's funny because Freeman started the year very, very ill with COVID. So much so that he in here said that he prayed, "Please don't take me." Weather's going to be perfect. We're supposed to get in the mid 70s today, over the next couple of days, mid to upper 70s and sunny. It's supposed to be a little bit breezy today in Bullhead, but early next week it's supposed to start getting back up into the 80s. So hope you guys enjoyed winter. Striper action. See Tony Howerton He's got a stringer of trout there, but they're talking about how the striper and the trout are really busy. Share the outdoors. You see an ATV down there talking about, here's a nice story about some of the trails and that's going, that's available to people out there to ride. What's interesting to me about that is that right now, actually today, starting in a few minutes, the Desert Tromp is starting out at Exit 2 on High 40. It's put together by the Boys and Girls Club of the Colorado River. Probably saw our interview with Autumn yesterday. Hopefully you saw it on Valley Voices. And today it's trucks and Jeeps kind of a day, 35-mile round trip down towards Havasu and back up. And then tomorrow it's side-by-sides and quads and those kinds of things. So it's a big fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club. You can still register there. So if you feel like it, race out there. They camp overnight, which really sounds cool, a bonfire and live music. So go and check them out. They could use your money. All right, that's it for today. Remember, if you have any questions or if you have any rumors that you're hearing, or you want to know my or Larry's opinion on something that is in the news, email at me. We're going to put my email address up here, and we'll try and get those answered for you. All right, this has been the Daily Dose, brought to you by the Tri-State Radiology Center. The Tri-State Radiology Center offers same or next day appointments, and they accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal. They have a wide open MRI and offer digital x-rays with your reports back in 24 hours. Call today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. And a reminder, the Daily Dose and Valley Voices are now available to stream on the Anchor app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and more. There's a whole list in the description below, along with their links, so you can go there and check those out. All right, thank you, everybody. Remember, it's Friday the 13th in 2020, so be extra careful out there, please. Have a great weekend, and I will see you here on Monday.